Hai, saya Nur Afidah Chaira binti Zahiri.
Hai, nama saya Alisha Kumaira.
Hi, my name is Arisa Shahira.
Hi, my name is Arisa Shaira binti Azmi, and to start with our case study today, we will dive in our objective first, which is the purpose of this assignment. So first, to understand the importance of food safety and hygiene in the food industry. Second, to identify critical safety and hygienic issues in real-world scenario. Last but not least, apply hazard analysis and critical control point (HACCP) principle to address food safety concern. So a bit introduction for our case study. Our group decided to choose a case study of an 2021 food safety crisis involving a shrimp paste factory in Kampung Pantai, Aceh, Penang, which was ordered to shut down after failing to meet Malaysian Food Act of 1983 of Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. This case was exposed during a surprise shock inspection by the Penang Health Department. News report from Astro Awani described a nauseating fault order at the site, which led officer to discover an old stock of shrimp paste teeming with maggots stored alongside fresh product. Further violation included an unsanitary, false-meaning environmental and the use of unauthorized halal logo. Moving on to our brief overview of the case study, first we have the company profile, which the company location is located at Kampung Pantai Aceh, Balik Pulau Pinang. The product is a fermented shrimp paste locally known as petis udang. Despite being well-established business operating for over 15 years, the facility was found to have severely regressed in its food safety and hygiene standard. Major violation. First, the violation discovered during the observation ride was several finding was maggot infection within the fermentation vats. Authorities noted that all decomposing shrimp paste was being mixed or stored directly next to fresh batches, leading to massive cross-contamination and environmental where flies could breed freely. Next, authority found product already spoiled and emitting foul odor that were deceptively labeled with future expiry dates, which is a label showing 2024 expiry. Despite having no certification from JAKIM, the factory was caught using an unauthorized halal logo on its packaging to mislead Muslim consumers. Next, the inspection revealed that the factory, which had been in business for 15 years, was a repeat offender, having failed to improve its standard after a similar raid and warning in 2019. With them having a few violations, these are the consequences that they need to take when the authorities decide to have taken an action upon them, which is an immediate 40-day closure, which is under Section 11 of the Food Act 1983. The factory was issued an immediate closure order for 14 days. Next, penalties, which the factory was issued multiply compounds fine totaling 10,000 ringgit. Last, reputational damage. As a repeat offender previously warned in 2019, the factory details were released to a national media outlet like the Bernama and the Star, resulting in severe loss of consumer trust and brand integrity. Based on our analysis for this case, for the safety issues, first we have the contaminated raw material and cross-contamination, which the inspection found an old stock spoiled shrimp paste mixed with freshly produced paste. Maggots was also mixed into the same container as fresh shrimp paste. Next, an improper storage and food handling. Storing fermented products in open and unsealed container lead to moisture gain and environmental exposure, allowing for biological spoilage. Last, falsified future expiry date on spoiled goods, which the discovery of spoiled good with future expiry dates 2024 indicates a failure to monitor the fermentation process without proper acidity or temperature control, and the product became a breeding ground for a bacteria like Salmonella or Staphylococcus aureus. As for hygienic issues, we have a pest infection, the maggots discovery, which the presence of maggots is a direct result of a failed pest control program. Flies were able to access the production vats and lay eggs, which is a major biological hazard and sign of gross negligence. Next, an unclean facilities and equipment. Health officer noted a nauseating stench and found a thick layer of dust and cobweb covering the processing machine. These physical contaminants can easily fall into the paste during mixing. They also have a poor personal hygiene, which workers were found handling food without basic protective equipment like glove, head cover, and apron. Additionally, as a repeat offender since 2018, the factory showed a systematic failure to train staff in a good manufacturing practice, which is the TNP.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about what is the food hazard found in the case. First, it is the biological hazard, which is rat droppings, maggots, and spoiled food. Second is chemical, contaminated containers and spoilage toxin. And last is physical, which is found cobwebs. Next, health issues can impact human based on this case. First is gastroenteritis, which is symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, and fever. Second, allergic reaction or irritation from food that has broken down or fermented improperly. Third, serious systemic infections, especially for vulnerable groups like children, elderly, and immunocompromised person. Fourth is chronic toxicity from repeated exposure to chemical residue. And last but not least, choking and internal injuries, which may be swallowing foreign objects like pieces of glass and cuts or tears mouth and digestive tract. Next is HACCP strategy, hazard analysis for production stage. For first stage is receiving and storage of raw materials. In this stage, we found 3 hazard analysis, which is biological, chemical, and physical. For biological, contaminated raw shrimp might carry pathogens like bacteria and spoilage organism. For chemical, contamination from pesticide or cleaning agents such as soaps. And for physical, it is a foreign matter like dirt and shells. For second stage is cleaning of raw materials. For biological hazard analysis, it is a poor washing leads to microbial load and contamination. And for physical, residual debris or stones remain. For the third stage is fermentation or processing. For biological hazard, growth of pathogens due to improper fermentation conditions. For chemical hazard, improper filling agents, residue of cooking. And for physical, it is the debris, cobwebs, and pest trapping that we found. For the fourth stage is the storage of finished products. For the first is biological, the smoke, pest contamination due to poor control and expired stock mixed with fresh stock. We also found that the owner of the factory used a fake certification for the shrimp paste that they make. Now I'm going to talk about critical control point, or also known as CCPS. But first, what is critical control points? Critical control point is the step we can take to reduce or eliminate the risk of the hazard being realized. For the first step is raw materials receiving and storage. First, we can reject contaminated of raw materials beforehand. Next, we can keep materials in a proper temperature. Next is the cleaning and sorting. Make sure that the foreign matter and microbes are removed beforehand. For the fermentation and processing step, fermentation conditions like controlling harmful bacteria and pH of the product directly affect safety, so it is very crucial in this stage. Second to last is storage of finished product. We need to make sure that spoilage and pest contamination is in control prior to distribution. And last but not least is packaging step, which we need to ensure packaging does not introduce or expose to hazard. Now
I'm going to talk about HACCP implementation. So firstly, I'm going to talk about HACCP monitoring. What is HACCP monitoring? It is established critical points, which is CCPS in processing. For example, heating, storage, or cleaning. So to have this HACCP monitoring, it will need conduct regular checks such as hourly temperature logs for refrigeration and cooking to ensure product stays within safe limits. Pest control checks for rodents, insect, and foreign material. Like rat droppings or maybe birds' feathers found in our cases, which is pinning inspections, and visual hygiene inspection of equipment, surfaces, and processing area. Malay may also need to use check this and digital logs so deviation are recorded in real time. So for HACCP corrective actions, so if a CCP is out of control, for example like high temperature or contamination found, what we need to do is report corrective actions in the logbook, which include date, time, and action taken. Next, stop the production line immediately to prevent unsafe products from continuing. And then isolate, label, and stop distribution of affected products, clean and sanitize or repair equipment or surfaces before resuming the process. And last but not least, we train staff on correct procedure when lapses occur. And now, HACCP verification and records. So to maintain detailed records to prove safe operation to KKM or MOH inspector, they need temperature charts, cleaning, pest control reports, and also they need supplier certificates like raw material or HACCP compliance. And employee hygiene also need a training record. So for the verification for this factory, they need to use lab test result for microbial or pathogen checks when required. Next, preserve photo or video evidence of sanitation before and after corrective actions. And last but not least, present annual audit reports and inspection response to regulators. In conclusion, from our case, consistent HACCP monitoring helps identify problems before contamination occur. Corrective actions protect consumer and prevent enforcement actions like closure. Through documentation and verification builds trust with KMM or MOH and proves compliance. Strong food safety culture is essential for Malaysian food business to prevent public health risks and protection reputation. So from our, the Penang case highlights how poor hygiene and lapses in control and led to enforcement closure and fines. So that's all from us. Bye!